Welcome to Hearthstone Shit or Lit, the Hearthstone talk show where we rate the new Knights of the Frozen Throne cards. Here's how it works. Cards will be given a rating of either shit, which means the card is shit, lit, which means the card is alright and might be played, and finally, lit, which means the card is busted as fuck. But that is not all, fine gentle sires. The cards will also be eligible for 2 certificates. The first being the Meme Magic certificate, meaning the card has a high potential to carry a meme deck. The second will be the Crip Arena certificate, meaning the card will be above average in the arena format. Alright, now that the rules are clear, let's get elbow deep into this. The first card on our radar is the Cold Wraith, a 3-mana, 3/4, which reads, Battle Cry. If an enemy is frozen, draw a card. Now then, this card is quite obviously lit as fuck fame, swag yo hola at ya boy. A 3-mana 3/4 is not a bad card on its own. But this comes with the huge bonus of drawing a card. This will be an auto-include in most mage decks going forward, in my humble opinion. The condition won't be too difficult to meet, and even if you fail to meet it, the stat line isn't even bad. If we were rating with the lame-ass star system, this would be 5 stars. Also, this card is deserving of the Crip Arena certificate as it's a 3/4 for 3 with an upside. The next card on the list is the Doomed Apprentice, which is a 3-mana, 3/2, which reads, your opponent's spells cost 1 more. I am somewhat on the fence about this one, but I think I'll have to go with my gut and take a big fat steaming shit on this card. I know the effect has some decent potential, but at 2 health for 3 whole mana this card will get run down by any aggro deck. This is a definite shitter card. This card is also shit in arena. Next up is the card that will make you appreciate how fun and interactive Hearthstone truly is, and that's the Ice Walker. It's a 2-mana, 1/3 elemental that reads, your hero power also freezes the target. I am pretty torn on this card, so I'll have to give it the Charlotte rating. I believe this card has some potential to be played. Its effect is quite interesting. Though hero powering on turn 3 isn't very powerful, which is what you want to do to get value out of a card like this. We have to remember freeze effects can be quite annoying, and having the ability to lock down the enemy's minions or even weapons at will has some potential. Only time will tell if this card makes the cut. I will award this card with the Meme Magic certificate, as I could see some funny moments coming out of this card. Keeping a Pirate Warrior's Arcanite Reaper locked down. Also the shatter value. This card is below average in arena. The next card is pretty chill. It's a 1-mana spell called Breath of Cindergosa. It deals 2 damage to a random enemy minion and then freezes it. This card is deserving of the Charlotte rating. This is a very powerful anti-aggro tool. Even if you miss your target, you still end up freezing them, buying you another turn to answer their board, but it's also a 1-mana deal too. But unlike Smite and Arcane Shot, you don't actually get to pick the target. These 2 cards see very little play. I think this card may be tested but found not impactful enough. This card will be granted the Crip Arena certificate. Turns out a 1-mana deal to freeze a minion card is pretty good in a tempo format revolving around early board control. This next card is an effect we've seen 16 different times before, but this time it's slapped on a secret. Let us take a gander at what Daddy Broad has in store for us. Wowzeree, Frost Clone. The 3-mana secret which reads, after your opponent plays a minion, put 2 copies of it into your hand. I will jump the gun here and give this card a shit rating. I do not believe this card is good in really any decks. The effect is too easy to play around, and you're likely to get some shitty one-drop they threw out. The only potential I see is copying a card like Elise, but any player with an IQ higher than 70 will not play Elise into a secret unless this card is absolutely never seen. You could potentially cheese someone into not playing around it. For this reason I'll give it the mean magic certificate. This next card is sure to spook you so bad it sends chills down your spine, and that's the Ghastly Conjurer, which reads, add a mirror image spell to your hand. I'll bust a nut in someone's butt over this card. A 2/6 for 4 isn't too impressive of a stat line, but adding a mirror image to your hand can provide some much needed stalling, especially against weapon decks. The fact that it generates a 1-mana defensive tool as well as a body makes it an auto-include in any quest-rich deck. It also synergizes very well with Antonitas. This card is most definitely lit. I'll also award this card the Crip Arena certificate. Turns out a 2/6 for 4 pretty good, especially with much hero power for trading up. Not as good as Water Elemental though. This card will also be given the mean magic certificate on top of that, for the sole purpose of trying out an Auctioneer red mono iron deck. I am giving a trigger warning for this next card, as it may trigger some vivid flashbacks to a time of great suffering. And that card is the 8-mana spell Glacial Mysteries. Let's just say this card is shit. 8 mana is too expensive for its effect. By this time you'll have drawn half of the shitty secrets, and which secrets don't have synergy like Avenge and Get Down did. Next up is Dark Scrotum, the 3-mana mage spell which becomes a copy of the lowest cost minion in your hand. I'm going to make the argument that I think this card is actually lit. Antonitas could be the lowest card in your hand, or maybe Elise? I think this card can enable some control decks as well as help control mages keep up in value. This card is shit in Arena, but is the card highest in mean magic potential. Hype train, choo-choo. Alright, we have the one, the only, the legendary 8-mana 8 Dragon Syndragosa, who summons 2/0/1 fallen champions during her battle plan. Let's move Syndragosa over just a cunt hair, so we can see the frozen champion. Now, if you asked me when the card was first revealed, I'd say this card was shit. But now that I've seen the legendary mage hero card, I actually think this card has a spot there. On its own it's worse than Medivh, but with the hero card it synergizes extremely well with the mage hero power. And I am predicting a freeze attrition mage deck to form and become at least tier 2. This card is also deserving of both the Crip Arena award and the mean magic reward. This card will have some pretty nifty highlights. Now then, on to the final card reveal.
The weight of such a burden. It must be mine, for there is no other.
Tyrion! You hold a grim destiny in your hands, brother, but it is not your own.
Jaina.
By all that is holy.
I am Deckard Bane, and this is my card review for Frostlich Jaina. This is a legendary mage hero card that reads, summon a 3/6 water elemental. Your elementals have lifesteal this game, and you gain 5 armor. But that's not all. She also gains a chilling hero power. Ooh, Icy Touch, which makes your hero power summon a water elemental when it takes the life of a minion. Pair those with my Frostworm Syndragosa, and no one shall stand in your way. The value of this card surely means it is as lit as can be. Ooh, just think about it. Imagine using your Icy Touch hero power on Citragos' fallen champions. Not only will we be generating a random legendary, but you'll be summoning a 3/6 elemental with lifesteal. No deck will be able to stand up to the sheer value that this card brings in an attrition match.
Thanks for watching and sub for more shit content.